Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, so today we're just going to be focusing on designing or building out this. I think they call it a hero section. So basically, we're just going to be focusing on this section only within this video. But if it doesn't take too long, we probably might even do this about section here as well. Now, just to let you know, we are going to be building out this whole website throughout within the next couple of videos. We're going to be building it out, and then we will clean it up. We will clean up the whole setup as we go along. So but for this particular video, we'll just be focusing on this hero section over here. So without wasting any more time, let's just get to it. So I have my project opened up here with VS Code. So currently I have the master template opened up. So that's where we're going to start, because basically we're going to be starting off with this particular section over here, which is the main header. So this is going to stick to the top of the page, and it's going to be above all the other elements going down. So we're gonna first start off here within the master template, and like I said, we will clean it up as we go along. So I'm just gonna delete this particular uh, element over here. That's what we used in the previous video to test. Okay, so I'm gonna create a comment here, and I'm gonna name this main page header. I'm gonna copy that down, paste it here. Okay, then I'm gonna create the div with the same name. I'm gonna say main page header. All right, so like I said, this is gonna stick to the top, and so within here we're gonna be creating this yellow ribbon over here, and along with this menu, along with logo container. So for that, what we need to first do is we need to style this particular div. So I'm gonna copy that comment over there, and I'm gonna come within our CSS folder. Sorry, within the public folder, CSS, and then the main.css file. So the first thing I'm gonna do, box sizing, which is gonna be border box, and that's pretty much it. And then we're gonna style the main body. Okay, so I'm gonna make the height 100 VH, and then I'm gonna remove the margin. I'm gonna make it 0px, and then the padding as well, I'm gonna make it 0px. Okay, now I'm gonna paste that main page header comment here, and then I'm gonna copy. Oh, by the way, apologies for this. Just so that you guys can differentiate as to what is a Bootstrap class, because we're going to be using Bootstrap a lot within this project. So all the other what you call it, custom stylings, I'm going to be using IDs so that you guys are able to differentiate what is a Bootstrap class, and where exactly I use my own custom styling. So apologies for that. So that main page header is going to be an ID instead of a class. So just make sure you change that. So now I'm going to say main page header. All right, so obviously I'm going to say position fixed, and then I'm going to say top 0px, and then I'm going to say z index, just going to make it 5. Okay, now I'm going to give it a border so that we are able to see what we are working with. So I'm going to say px 1 pixels, sorry, 1px, and then solid, and I'm going to give it a red border. All right, so what we need to do now is actually run the server. So I'm gonna run the Laravel application. Sorry. spelling mistake. Okay, so it looks like the server is already running for some reason. Okay, so I'm just gonna open up a browser and check that out. Okay, so now if we come back here within our views, I changed the welcome. Was it the welcome? No, it's the index page. So it's definitely picking up the master template. So for now, what I want to do is the body. I want to make that um, F3, F3, F3. Let's just check that out. Okay, the body color has changed. So now the last thing I need to check is border 1 pixel solid. Oh yeah, let me give it a bit of padding. Actually, no, I don't have to do that. Yeah, actually, let me just do that. 10 pixels all around. Okay, that's the box over there. Width, the width is gonna be 100%. Okay. All right. I hope you guys can see the red border over there. So that's the wrapper for our ribbon and then also the navigation. So I will change the padding once we are done with everything. All right. So now what we then need to do is come back to the master template, and then in here the first element we're going to add is the ribbon. Don't have to call it ribbon. I just decided to call it ribbon um, just for the sake of the video. Okay, so again, I said I'm gonna all other what you call it, the naming convention for my custom styling. I'm just gonna use IDs, and then the rest is gonna be Bootstrap classes. All right, so the ID for this div is gonna be ribbon, and then um, interestingly enough, as you can see, the color is yellow. So this was the hash code that I used, but funny enough, the custom or the color coding that comes with Bootstrap already is pretty much similar to this. So I'm going to use that instead of this one. So in here, I'm just going to give it a Bootstrap class, and then I'm going to say BG, which is going to be warning, right? And then let me just put some nonsense in here. Then I'm going to refresh. Okay, there you have it. So now, since we can see that background or the yellow background, I'm going to remove the padding around the main page header div, which is this one over here. So I'm going to come back to the main CSS and just remove that. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this comment here. Let me just close this. And I'm going to come back to the CSS file, and then I'm going to just add some styling there. So it's going to be ribbon. And then actually there's not going to be any, wait, hold on. All right, so initially what I did was on the left side, I had the email, and then on the right side, the far right side, I had the icons. So what then now I need to do within the ribbon itself is create a container. Spelling mistake there. All right, I'm gonna copy that and paste it here. Okay, apologies if I'm bouncing around. Yeah, I'm just going as I'm just flowing at this point in time. So all right, so that's the container. So now what I need to do is say um, in here I'm just gonna add a div, and then this is just gonna wrap the email. So the in here I'm gonna say info at foodloversdaily.com, and then before that I'm gonna add an icon, which is gonna be and then I'm just gonna give it a margin of 2. All right, so let's just see how it looks. Okay, can you see it there? So now in here I'm just gonna add some small padding. So I'm just gonna say padding and then 7 pixels, and then 0 from left and right. So up and down, what you call it, top and bottom is going to be 7 pixels, and then from the left and right it's going to be 0. So let's check it out. There you have it. So now to this div, I'm gonna actually here on the container I'm gonna say d flex, and then align items center. So again, these are Bootstrap classes, all of these that you see here. All right. So here we're gonna say mail, copy that. All right. So now here this is gonna be the social media um, icon wrapper. So we're gonna say okay. So now we're gonna okay. So now this is gonna float to the far end, um, which is on this side over here. So this particular div, I'm gonna give it a class, and then I'm gonna say margin start ms start and then auto, right? And then let's put in our first icon. So here the first one is gonna be, let's just say Facebook. So I'm gonna say FA and then FA Facebook, and then I'm gonna add a span here. Oh, apologies. Actually, I needed to wrap this within a div. So I'm gonna say div, then paste that there, and then put a span in here, and then this is gonna be Facebook. Okay. Let's just see how it looks for now. All right, we see the name, but we don't see the icon. So um, I think it's fab, and then true. Let's see if it shows now. Okay, there it's showing. All right, so now I'm gonna copy this about a number of times and then paste it here. Copy and save that, and then let's just repeat. All right, so now I want these to be aligned with each other. So what I'm gonna do then is that I'm gonna set this to d flex, and then again align items center. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, so now they're aligned with each other. So now on each div, I just want to add some spacing there. So let's say class, then I'm going to say ms, sorry, not ms, margin end. Then I'm just going to give it a spacing of 2. Right. So now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy that class, and then each and every div, I'm going to press Control D, just to highlight all the ones that I want to select. Control D. I'm going to paste it there. So this last one, I think I'm going to remove that because that's the last element. So if you come back here, there should be some spacing between the social media icons. So now let's change them. So this one is going to be Instagram. I think that's how you spell it. So there you go. Actually, I want it to be a bit dark. So let me just see. It's FA Instagram. I think square. Let's see if square is gonna show. I don't think I like that one. Yeah, I think that the first one was fine. Let's just leave it like that and change that to caps. The next one is gonna be Twitter, right? So let's see that. Okay, that's Twitter there. Now the last one should be, I think, LinkedIn. So I'm gonna say LinkedIn and change that from Facebook to LinkedIn, right? Copy, let's save and check. All right, so now this is our social media icons. Now just remember, guys, the icons themselves, we are getting this because of Font Awesome. So um, these classes that you see here, Fab or FA, these are Font Awesome classes, and so um, you if you wanted, if you followed what I did within the previous video, if you add all of these classes as I did here, you should be able to get those social media icons. And then now, the one of the reasons I put these in a span is because I wanted so that when the screen is in a mobile is in mobile view, the only thing that should display is the icons instead of the icons and the name itself. As you can see, it doesn't fit correctly there. So for that, we're going to use a Bootstrap classes again. So I'm just going to highlight everything, all the span tags, and then I'm going to say class. First thing I'm going to say is D, none, and then I'm going to say D, SM, and then block, right? I think that's what I did. Let me just check my notes. Let me just, yeah, let me refresh again. Yeah, actually, I was wrong. It's D inline. D, um, SM, inline. I think it's D inline. Let me just check again. Okay. All right. Can you see that? So when we change the mobile screen, when we are in mobile view, then it's only going to show the icons. But the moment the screen is bigger than that, and then the name of the icons will then display. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for the ribbon. Um, yeah, so now the other section we need to work on is the navigation. All right, so this is the ribbon. So we need to go below where the ribbon section ends. Right, so here we're gonna say main nav. Um, Again, I'm gonna give this an ID of main nav. Okay, all right, so we're gonna have so right in the project that I showed you, there were only about two links. There was the home and the blog link. So we're not gonna add the about, the recipe, the contact. The only thing we're gonna add is this main header, I mean the name of the app plus the subheader, the home and blog navigation link, and the two sign in and sign up buttons. So for that, what we need to do then is that we need to take this particular color here. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to come back within the CSS and then so I'm going to say main nav. So the background, as you can see there, is transparent. So we're going to make it transparent now. So actually, let me do it this way. I'll, and then give it that color. Uh, right, I'm going to say RGBA. Just follow what I'm doing there. So it's going to be RGBA and then use those color codes there. And then the last parameter we need to add is the padding. So I believe the padding was about 0.7, and then change this from background color to background. And then again, we'll just add some small padding. Top and bottom will be about 5 pixels and then 0 left and right. So let's check it. All right. So hope you can see it there. All right. So now um, in here, we're gonna first add the application name or the main heading, which is, I'm just going to say app name. So the ID is app name. So first H1 tag is going to be, um, I'm going to add a class here, and then I'm going to say display 5. So this is a Bootstrap class, which is going to give it a nice heading. So first, let me just add the heading itself. So it's food lovers daily, right? And then the other thing, I'm going to add a class to the main wrapper there. I want to say D flex. So just remember everything is going to be in line with each other. So then I'm going to say align items center, right? Let's just check it out first and see how it looks. Oh yeah, apologies for that. I was actually supposed to add this within a container. So that's the first thing I needed to do. And then paste it back. Okay. And this, I believe, is now supposed to be this particular classes that I added are supposed to be here within the container. And I think, yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so there it is there. We can change this from H1 to maybe an H2 or H3. But first, the first thing we need to do is add the main font. So if you remember, like I showed you within the previous video, the font that I used here is called Luckiest Guy, which is this one here. So now let's just create a particular class for it. I'm going to copy that name as it is. So within our application, our CSS file here, I'm going to add a class called main font. And then I'm going to say font family, and then paste that there, right? And then might as well add the secondary font, right? Because we're going to be using these a lot. So that's why I'm creating the classes for them. So now the secondary font that I used was actually Century Gothic. So if I were to click there, it's this one over here, Century Gothic. So I'm going to copy that as well. And then here, I'm going to say font family, Century Gothic, right? So now I'm going to add this particular class over here. Yeah, so like I said that I'm going to separate the classes. These are the only two classes that are of my custom design that I'm going to add onto the elements. So after this, I won't be adding any other custom classes. So now, remember the H1, we had a display class which is from Bootstrap, and it gave it a particular font, as you can see there. I hope you can see it. Let me just give it a let me just say text uh, white, right, so that you can see it. As you can see, that's the default font that you will get if you only use this particular class here, which is display 5. Even if you say display 1 or 2 or 3, it's still the same. The font styling is pretty much the same. So as you can see, there it is. So it's bigger now because it's similar to how you add H1, H2, H3, H4. So H5 is one of the lowest ones. And I think the other one, the next one is about display 6. Let me just, yeah, it's display 6. So just going to add that there. So now I'm going to add the class that we just created, which is main font, right? So now if you come back, there's our font now. So um so now what do we need to do? Okay, let me just, okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now the next thing we need to add is the two links. So it's only about two navigation links, so it's not going to be too hectic. So within the container still, we're going to come here. Actually, let me just do this. I'm lying actually. Apologies again, guys. This was supposed to be within a div because um, because we need to add also the subheader. So this one is going to be, let's just say an h5 dot display. I'm going to say 6, and then this one is going to have the secondary font, and I believe the text was food recipes and health tips. So just type it in. If you're following along with what I'm doing, just type it as you see it there. Let me just copy and save this. and come back here. There it is. Actually, let me remove the h5 and just put that within a div, right? Let me come back here. Okay, that's way too big, so I'm gonna remove the display 6 and okay. So just remove the display 6 and then turn it back to a h5 or an h5 tag like I did it there. So now also this text is also gonna be white. There it is, and if I believe it was in italics. So let me just check my notes. Yeah, so it was in italics. So there's a class for that. I think it's txt. Okay, I'm gonna waste time doing that. I'm just gonna give it a class. I'm gonna say txt. Sorry. Um, I'm gonna give it an ID actually. Right? So that's the ID that we're going to use throughout the whole application. So just take note of that. And then we're going to come back here right beneath the secondary font. We're going to add that ID there. And then we're going to say text. And hold on. Okay, it's font style and then italic. Right, so let's change that. All right, so there you have it. So now we're just gonna add the two links here and then the two buttons at the far end. Let me actually rename this. Actually, no, I'm leave it as it is. I'm gonna call this and then come back down here. Okay, so now again, still within the container, we now gonna say navigation. So we're gonna say navi. Okay. Actually, this was supposed to be a nav tag. Okay, so in here we're just gonna have two links, which is gonna be home and then blog. Okay, right. So let's copy that. First, let's refresh, see how it looks. Okay, hope you can see it there. So now we're gonna come back to our CSS. I want to say border so that we can see what we're looking at. And I'm just gonna say white for now. All right, I hope you can see the border there. And then now we're gonna style the navigation links. It's gonna be the li tag first. I'm gonna say display inline block, right? Okay, and then we're gonna say list. Then we're gonna say none. So that's just gonna remove the bullet points. Okay, so now we are gonna target the anchor tags. So it's gonna be navigation, li, and then a, right? So color will just be white. Text decoration gonna be none, and then let's just see. Okay, and then obviously all we have to do here is just give it a class and say secondary font. Okay, so now let's move the navigation tag all the way to the left, I mean to the right. So we're gonna say margin style auto. Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be a class, not an ID. Okay, there it is. For some odd reason now it's showing the oh yeah, made a spelling mistake there. Okay, hope you can see it there. So now from the right, I'm going to give it a margin as well, so that it doesn't line up against the buttons. Um, margin n, sorry, it's going to be, let's say 3. Okay, that's fine. So now I'm going to put the button wrap right after it. So just going to name it button wrap. Okay, so here we're going to say it's an anchor tag, and then btn, btn sm, and btn warning. Actually, wait. Oh no. So the first one is going to be white. Let's check it out. Forgot to say sign in. I'm really stupid. I put that within the href. So it's supposed to be class, and then add those classes. Add those classes there. Okay, let's try again. All right, there it is. So I think I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, which is gonna be MD. Yeah, I think that's fine. So now I'm just gonna remove that border around the navigation. So we're gonna come back to the CSS file, and we can remove that there. and I'm just gonna say padding 0 px, right? And I want to put some spacing between the links there. So what I can do is margin, let's just say left, and then give it 7 pixels. Yeah, I think that should be fine for now. So now let's add the other button. All right, so we're gonna come back here within our call to action section there. I'm gonna copy this actually. So now I'm gonna change that from BTN light, BTN outline light to BTN warning. Let's check it out. Okay, so there's the two buttons there. So now what I need to do is change that from sign in to sign up. All right, so if you check the design, it's plus minus the same. So now what we need to do is work on this particular section over here. So which is going to consist of a div with a background image, and then there's going to be an overlay, and then this particular text and these two buttons here. So for now, I think we're done with the header. Yeah, I think we're done for the header for now. Let's work on that section there. Okay, so this is the main page header. So I'm gonna name this section over here hero, right? Okay, copy that comment there. Okay. All right, so this hero section is practically gonna span the whole page width, or the whole viewport height, and then it's gonna span the whole page width. So what we need to do is say width is 100%, and then the height 100 viewport heights. And then now like I said, the images, you will find them within the project folder if you downloaded it from my GitHub page. So I'm gonna now what you call it, I believe I copied these images already, so they should be within my images folder. So hopefully you also did the same. The name of the image that I'm going to use is landing banner, which is that one there. So here now I have to say background image. So it's going to be, we're going to go one folder back, and then we're going to say images, then I'm going to say landing banner, right? And then background size is going to be cover, background position, which is going to be center, and then center, and then background repeat is going to be no repeat. Okay, so let's see if I've done everything correctly. Okay, so as you can see, it's spanning the whole viewport height and also the full width. So now um, remember, like I said, there's going to be an overlay within here which is going to be which is just gonna cover the image. It won't be as clear as this. So now what we need to do is here is add overlay. Okay, now that we have that, I'm gonna copy this over here and then just paste it beneath it. So I'm gonna say width 100%, height 100%. Now the background color is going to be similar to how the main page header is set up. So I'm going to give it the same color but a little bit darker. Uh, wait, no, sorry, a little bit lighter, not darker. So I'm just going to say 0.6. Let's check it out. Okay, can you see that? Now I'm going to remove the border around the main page header so that because we don't need it anymore. So I'm just going to comment that out. Just paste it again, refresh. All right, hope you guys can see that. So we got the main page header. By the way, this font here, I mean this particular class for the main application name, this display 5. Now one of the reasons I'm using it is because when you go into mobile view, as you can see how it's quite large. So if I go into mobile view, it is also responsive. So if you check it out now, you can see that it's a bit smaller than before. And then if you expand, it becomes a bit larger. So that's one of the reasons why I'm using that particular class on this main font. Don't worry about these other elements. We will get to the point where we make them responsive and everything. So as you can see now, everything is showing it's almost plus minus the same as what we did here. So now the only thing that's left is to add all these elements in there. So for that, we need to go into the overlay and we're gonna say display, sorry, deflex, right? And then we're gonna say align items and then center, right? And then in here we're gonna add a card. Okay, so we're gonna say card, and then we're gonna say card body. Okay, so now the title is gonna be h5 dot card text dot secondary font. Okay, so the card text, I mean the card title, sorry, it's supposed to be title, not text. So the card title is gonna be this one over here where we say it's practically the same as the header. I mean the second, this the subheader. So I'm gonna paste that here, which is gonna be food recipes and health tips, right? Let me just put this on the same line. Okay, so now the next one is going to be this particular title here. So I'm going to copy that as it is. Um, just pause if you didn't see what it was. Just pause the video and type it out if you're following along. So I'll say main title. So this is going to be like h1, and I'm also going to give it that class of display 5, and then I'm just going to paste it there. All right, and then I'm also going to give it the main font. Okay, so let's check it out. Oh boy, look at where it's showing. Apologies again, I made a mistake. It's supposed to be, let me see, cart. It's supposed to have that container. Okay, we just indent that, and then deflex, and then align items center. Okay, let me check this out. Okay, so for some odd reason it's sitting behind there. Let me just check what I did here. So deflex, align item center. Okay, let me do this. I just want to see something. Overlay. Oh, I see why. Okay. Um, I see why. I didn't put it within a class. Instead, it was within that ID there. So it's gonna be deflex and then align. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so there you have it. So it was my mistake. I forgot that I was using an ID here, not a class. That's why it wasn't working before. Okay, so okay, now it's in the middle. I don't want it to spend that the full page width. So this particular card, I'm gonna say column. Let's say 5 for now. Let's see how it looks. Let me see. I think let's span it about 6 columns. Let me increase it again. This time I'll say 8 columns. Okay, that's a bit better. Yeah, it's similar to how I set it up here. So now let's add the the text. So right beneath the main title, I'll say car text. Then I'm going to say lorem. I'm just going to put some sample text there. So we're going to say, let's just say, let's just give it about 50 words, see how it looks. Just going to put these on new lines so that we can see what's going on. Okay, save it. Let's see. Okay, there wasn't that much text, so I'm just going to remove some of these words here. Um, maybe let's say up until there. Let's check it out now. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, now what's next? The two buttons. So right beneath the card text, we're gonna say button wrap. Okay, so excuse me. So it's pretty much going to be the same as what we did here. The only difference is there's going to be the one button is going to have a different color. So I'm going to copy these two right here at the top where I did the call to action button wrap. I'm going to copy these two here and pretty much do the same. Paste it there. So let me save and see how it looks for now. Okay, so now if I remember, this one had a darker color and then this one had the yellow color. So this one will be warning, and then this one over here, this was its background color. So let's give it an ID. Um, what's the name of this button? Or sign up. Let's just say PTN color, or let's say main color. Right, let's just come down here. Background color is going to be this hash code over here. Sorry about that. Right, and then color was going to be white. In fact, we don't even need to do that. Right, we don't need to do that. All we have to do is just come in here, remove this, and then just say text white. Let's see if that worked. This is learn more, by the way. And this one will stay as sign up. So let's see now. Okay, so I know it might look a little bit lost once we remove this background color. As you can see here, it does look like it's a bit lost within the setup itself, but I mean, when I used the white border color, it got also lost because of the background image. So that's why I made this one a bit darker. So yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. We've got that. We've got the main header. We've got the sample text. We've got the buttons. So the one thing left to do is to remove this this background, this white background here from the card. And it's simple to do that. If you're following along, all you have to do is just say bg transparent, and then border, just say 0. Save, and then come back. Oh yeah, I forgot to change this to white text. So the only thing we need to do, I think we can say text white. Let's see if that affects anything. Okay, so that works. So all you have to do is go on to where it says card body, and then just say text white, and then it should affect all of the elements that need to have a white color. Okay, so I think we got everything. I would like to do the what you call it, the about section, but the video is already long. It's already an hour over. So I think we should end it here. We've got everything. Like I said, we were just gonna build out the whole site, and then we will clean it out as we go along. So for now, if you've been following along, where we are currently, it should be fine. So as you can see, the design that we've done here that I did here within Adobe XD is pretty much the same as what we did here. So every other functionality, we will look at that within the next couple of videos. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Look, I know I was bouncing around quite a lot. I hope you guys were able to follow along. But in any case, all you have to do is just pause the video and just check and see what I'm doing, and then yeah, you should be at this point if you've been following along as I did. All right, so that's it for the video. Again, guys, if you've liked what you've seen so far, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be checking you guys out within the next video. Cheers for now.